Hi everyone, and hello to you Someone Said community. I'll start by saying thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for your subscription, thank you for the likes, thank you for sharing our videos, and most importantly, thank you for leaving your sincere comments. Those are super important to us. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, click on the subscribe button and make sure to click on the notification bell so as to get notified each time we upload a video. Someone said it's a community of positive-minded people looking and aspiring to uplift others through motivation and inspiration. So you're welcome to join us. As I welcome you to this episode of Someone Said, we're basically discussing dreams and the actualization of dreams. So permit me to start by asking you this. Do you have a dream? Do you dream dreams? And how are they coming along? Are they getting actualized? Or do they remain mere dreams? These and more we'll be discussing on this episode today as we discuss the 6 common excuses that people give which can hurt their dreams and aspirations. So sit back, come along with us, and let us learn together. Enjoy. The first common excuse that most people give and can hurt dreams or aspirations is, I have no luck. Luck, as defined by the Webster's Dictionary, is a force that brings fortune or adversity. But I define luck as hard work plus deliberate positioning. How do you mean, you say? Let's take an example of a fisherman. A fisherman leaves his home and goes to sea, thereby positioning himself deliberately for a good outcome. But he doesn't stop there. He decides to cast his net so he can catch fish. Would you call that luck? Or would you call it hard work plus deliberate positioning? Even if there is going to be an external force that can guide or bring fortune, what have you done? You need to position yourself in a way where you're ready for a good outcome or for whatever outcome you plan for. And at the same time, work hard. Without hard work, you are not open to any good. Do you often ask yourself, am I positioned for the outcome that I'm expecting? Am I experienced enough? Am I knowledgeable enough? Am I working hard? Am I working in the path of that expectation I want? This is a question to ask yourself. Rather than blame luck, or rather than use an excuse of luck, rather than fold your arms and expect good to come, you need to get up, walk towards it, work for it, and it will come to you. The second common excuse that people give is, I have no experience. And just as the first excuse, experience doesn't just land on your lap. The awareness and the experience you get, you have to work for. If you need to go to school, go to school. If you need to work a trade, work a trade. If you need to learn from others, learn. You gain experience and gather experience and know stuff by getting off your butt and going to learn from others, or witnessing, or actually walking through stuff mistakes come, that mistakes or those mistakes are actually great teachers of experience. You can learn from people. You can watch videos, you can listen to stuff and all that. But your experience, your personal experience is actually a great teacher. And the third is I have no time. I'm busy with the kids, I'm busy with work, I'm busy with school, I'm busy with... Yes, it's a busy world. But I have no time only tells me one thing. You are not interested in it. Every man, every person will create room and will make time for the things they are interested in. And I'll cite an example of a football fan or soccer fan as it is to you. You'll see a soccer fan leave everything to go watch a soccer match that takes 2 hours. But if you have that same person to learn stuff that takes 30 minutes, they give an excuse of no time. Time, though slim, though tight, shouldn't be an excuse to you realizing your dream. All you need to do is set your priorities right. An excuse of no time only tells the world and tell yourself that this that you need to do is not a priority. If it is a priority, every other thing will wait. So I advise, list down those things and prioritize accordingly. Another excuse that people give which can hurt their dreams or aspirations is, I have no money. But I tell you this, in realizing your dreams or bringing your goals to actualization, money shouldn't be a limitation. The great author Robert Kiyosaki said in his book, he said, do not say, I cannot afford this. You would rather say, how can I afford this? To him, and in truth, saying I cannot afford this shuts your brain down. Whereas if you say, how can I afford this? It opens up your mind to endless possibilities of how you can meet that goal. For example, a dream of buying a $1 million house or mansion will be shut down once you say, I cannot afford $1 million. However, if you say to yourself, how can I afford that mansion? You tend to think about possibilities of one. Should I bring my goals or break my goals down to short-term and long-term goals? Short-term in the sense that, how do I afford a $200,000 house, for example? Buy that, pay it off. Then buy a bigger, pay it off until you can actually pay for $1 million mansion, if that is your dream. Another example of broadening your mind will be, what other jobs can I pick on? Or how can I make my job better to give me or earn me more money so I can afford my $1 million house? You see, there are options now because I want to achieve that goal. But with the mindset of I cannot, you shut your brain down and you limit yourself. So I tell you this, do not create any limit for yourself. The only one stopping you is you. broaden your mind. There are opportunities everywhere. And if you can think it, you can definitely do it. The fifth common excuse that most people give and can hurt their dreams or aspirations is, I will do it tomorrow. Procrastination is a killer of time. Procrastination ties back to prioritization that I mentioned earlier. You need to set priorities if it concerns your dream. Tell me this, what is more important than actualizing your dream or making that goal come to life? I have friends over, I will do it tomorrow. Oh, I'm busy watching this, I will do it tomorrow. Those are excuses or flimsy things that will pass. But your dream remains with you, either fulfilled or unfulfilled. Prioritize your dreams and make sure nothing stops you from getting it done. Tomorrow has enough stuff piled up to be done. Therefore, do not push what you can do today until tomorrow. Work at it. Do it right now and get it out of the way. That is the only way you can keep progressing. Pushing stuff forward, pushing things forward, pushing chores forward, pushing studies forward will only stop you and will not make you be in that position, that deliberate position we just talked about. So you see how these excuses interconnect and will hold you down if you're not careful. Stop procrastinating and keep working. It is your dream. Bring it to life. And finally, the sixth common excuse that people give, which can hurt dreams or aspirations, is racism, favoritism, or tribalism. It depends on your location. Don't get me wrong, I will not sit here and tell you racism does not exist. It does. It's a world issue and the whole world is standing up to fight against racism or favoritism or tribalism. However, you want to know one very good advice, the greatest advice I've ever gotten. A wise person told me once, he said, to be known, to stand out, you have to work 10 times as hard as the next person around you. And that is the only way for you to stand out. That I am grateful for. Get this, there will always be a form of favoritism or racism or tribalism, depending on your situation or your location. It is in us as human beings to prefer a certain thing or a certain person to another. But like my advisor said, work hard enough that you cannot be ignored. How hard do you work? How much do you put in? Do you only give what is commensurate to what you're paid? Or do you just do things like it's not my business? Until you start taking every endeavor you come across as if your life depends on it, you will sometimes or often be overlooked. Give it all. Whatever you find your hand doing, do it well. And that way, you will never be overlooked. Get this, there will always be a form of favoritism or racism or tribalism, depending on your situation or your location. It is in us as human beings to prefer a certain thing or a certain person to another. But like my advisor said, work hard enough that you cannot be ignored. How hard do you work? How much do you put in? Do you only give what is commensurate to what you're paid? Until you start taking every endeavor you come across as if your life depends on it, you will sometimes or often be overlooked. Give it all. Whatever you find your hand doing, do it well. And that way, you will never be overlooked. As discussed earlier, these said are the 6 common excuses that people give, which hurt their dreams or goals. Which ones of all the 6 are you struggling with? To some, it's one, to some, can be a couple, and to some, it's all 6. There is no one man on this planet that is perfect. We all have issues that we struggle with. So to some, it might be just one, to some, it might be 2, or to some, it might be all 6 that we give as excuses. And those are those things that pull us back or limit us in achieving our goals or dreams. So my advice to you is pick one thing at a time. Start working on these excuses and say to yourself, I will never give this as an excuse. And day by day, you get to master these things and you get to work and keep progressing. Progress might be slow, but it is progress. Like it said, walk, crawl, fly, run. As long as you keep moving towards an upward or forward position, all will be well. So keep working on yourself. And before I leave, I would still like to tell you to subscribe to Someone Said. Like and share this video. You never know who these things affect, but are not too concerned or too worried about it. You can be helping someone out. And until I see you again, I'm still that friend of yours, Oyitugasheyi, signing out.